Hey guys, OhGinelle here, and today's video is about porosity. So for those of you that don't know, porosity is how well your hair absorbs water, or the ability or the inability to retain moisture. So before I go into details, let me show you guys how to find out if your porosity level is low, medium, / normal, or high. Keep in mind all of these levels are factored by genetics and can also be altered by different situations like damage or just everyday manipulation. So we're going to find out our porosity by using the float test. So what you're going to do is fill a glass or a bowl with room temperature water, and you're going to take a couple strands of your clean hair and put them in the water. Clean hair is really important because if you have oils or products in your hair, it will alter the results. So I had just washed my hair and combed it out, and these are 2 clean strands that I pulled out of my comb. So now that you've put your hair into the water, you're going to wash it for about 2 to 4 minutes. If your hair sinks immediately, it has a high porosity. Your hair absorbed the water really quick, so it sank. If your hair is still floating after 4 minutes, it has low porosity. I have low porosity hair, as you can tell. And if your hair is slowly sinking and lands somewhere in the middle, you have normal porosity. So here are some of the traits of low porosity hair, which is what I have. My hair does not absorb water quickly. I literally have to stand in the shower for a couple minutes underneath it for my hair to absorb all the water. It takes long for it to get wet. Products tend to sit on top of my hair, and it also takes a very long time for my hair to dry. It also collects buildup really easily. Now the reason this happens is because each strand of hair has cuticles along the shaft. Now in this instant, it's kind of like shingles on a roof where they're all like layered down. Here you can take a look at this picture right here for a little bit more of an example of the 3 different types. Now right now we're focusing on low porosity. But what happens is because these cuticles are so tight and close, it's hard for anything to enter in. So what I do is when I get into the shower, I stand under warm water. The warm water helps open up the shafts, therefore the moisture and the water can enter. And also when I deep condition, I always deep condition under my hooded dryer. So this low porosity hair is pretty stubborn, but it works well with heat. When I say heat, I don't mean flat irons and blow drying. I'm referring to indirect heat. The heat helps open up the shaft so the moisture can get in. And then after I've conditioned and done all that stuff, I usually will rinse with cold water to help close the shafts back so whatever moisture got in can stay in. Another thing about low porosity hair is that it tends to hold on to a lot of buildup. And I'm not a big fan of shampooing, but I do use apple cider vinegar to rinse my hair. As well as the clay washes, those do have a pretty high pH balance, so they do help to open up the shaft as well. My hair doesn't really like protein. I don't use it very often, maybe once in a blue moon, and the reason why is because protein helps close the cuticles tighter, so I don't need it to close tighter because therefore nothing would get in and then my hair would get dry and start to break. I also tend to like products that have glycerin in it. Glycerin pretty much absorbs water from the air, so it's really good for low porosity hair. But it's not good for in the winter, because what happens is when it's cold out, it pulls the moisture out of your hair. So I do add glycerin to my conditioners and my Eco Custard in the summer or the hotter months. Now medium porosity, aka normal porosity, is pretty much in between of both the levels. Your hair absorbs just the right amount of moisture, and that's pretty much the perfect level to have. So now we can talk about high porosity. High porosity hair easily absorbs product, but it also doesn't retain it. What goes in pretty much comes out. Your hair tends to look and feel dry. Like I said, it can be caused by genetics, but often this is because your hair is damaged and some of the cuticles on the shaft are missing. Your hair dries really quickly. It also tends to get frizzy really quickly. And it tangles really easily because the cuticles tend to get knotted up in each other. Now, for people with high porosity hair, protein is pretty good for it, but they always say too much of anything is not good. So what the protein does, like I said earlier, is it does help seal the cuticles and make them tighter. But, like I said before, too much protein is going to seal them in too much. No moisture will get in, no moisture will get out. Your hair's going to get dry and start to break. They tend to say that heavy products work well for high porosity hair. Personally, I don't have high porosity hair, so I can't really say. But some of the recommended products for them are aloe vera gel and coconut oil. I have low porosity hair and I still use coconut oil. I feel like it absorbs really well into my hair, and I'm pretty sure it works just fine for everybody. If you have high porosity hair, deep conditioning is your best friend. Deep conditioning is everybody's best friend, but more particular for you because the products help to restore the damaged cuticles. and help them to lay down a little better. Therefore, your hair won't absorb as much water and will also retain the moisture. So if you want more information, I'll put a link below where you can find out a lot more of the products recommended for high porosity and low porosity hair. Like I always say, pretty much just try things. You're never going to know what works with you unless you try it. I feel like these are a little bit more accurate because at least you know that your hair is going to absorb it or not. For my low porosity hair, I feel that gels work better. I'm not a big fan of creams, but they do say heavier creams work better for high porosity hair. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching as usual. I love and appreciate you guys. See you next video. Burn into my memory, my stomach knows hunger. This ain't my bedroom, but I got joy one last time, so much I wanna do to you. I'm the one that doesn't quit, please. One last night, I love to claim my conscience. Missing these, some things are perfect.